All right, back on. So yeah, this is a big one. Actually, when I was chatting with the young gentleman at the bus stop, I relayed something to him, which is for me really super common knowledge, and we're going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But this was the thing where he's like, "Wow, I learned something new today," and it was about his body, and. I'll describe something first and then we'll get into it. Okay. So yesterday I'm walking along and my right knee's hurting. Has been hurting for the duration of my walk. And I think to myself, could be from sprinting the day before barefoot to catch the sunrise, because I could see from the window that it was red, and I had to see it. I had to. So actually, I went out in my flip-flops. I was like, "No, man, you got to take these off because we've got to get there fast." So I sprinted down the road barefoot, and yeah. So I said to myself, "Oh man, you're like." Knees hurting, and it's probably because of that. And then I said, why would you say that? Of the infinite realm of potentialities, you pick one. Why do that to yourself? Take that box off, take that ceiling off, and whatever, it is what it is. So I stopped walking. I mean, this is in the span of seconds, all of this, this thought. Stop walking, and put both my hands on my right knee, and I say, sweetheart, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't know what I've done to you, but actually, you're trying to get my attention, and you've been at it, the whole morning as I've been walking, and I've not stopped to do this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I forgive myself, really. Right? I can't remember what else I said, but I just said, I said, tell me what you need. Tell me what I just talk, and tell me why you're hurting. And of course, it's not like this. It's not like this, all of a sudden in my head, there's, my knee is talking to me and saying, well, you did this, and then you did, and you did that. It's not like that sort of thing. But what it is acknowledgement. It's acknowledging to the pain, which actually, let's go back to the last video, if a virus is God, if everything is God, then, and my body is God, pain is also God, right? Trying to get my attention for some reason. I don't know why. I don't need to know why. Don't need to do an analysis. Don't need to go into statistical charts or anything like that. Just acknowledge. So I acknowledge the pain, not the knee, it's the pain. And no word of a lie, it stops hurting immediately. Even I'm like, and I literally, I stopped and I was like, look, sweetheart, talking to my knee, you don't need to stop hurting immediately. It's okay. Because for me, that's like, the whole interaction is like, talking to a 5-year-old child who's been trying to get my attention, and I've, for an hour or so while I've been walking, I've not given her that attention. So when I'm like, you can still hurt, it's okay. It's akin to child is there. Finally, I acknowledge the child, and then the child is just sort of acquiesces and okay, I'm all right now. Everything's okay because I've acknowledged the child. But I want to make sure. I want to make sure that the child has fully expressed everything that needs to come out Right? So then back to the knee, that's exactly what I say. I'm like, look, you don't have to stop hurting just because, you know, we just did that. You can, it's all right. If there's more pain there, bring it. It's all right, darling. And no, that was it. I think it came back in the day, and but nothing significant. And the thing is, this is what I want to say. If I take that pain to a doctor, to somebody who doesn't know my body, actually, because nobody knows my body like I do, if I take that pain to somebody else, and they're going to want to do an x-ray, they're going to, you know, want to do stuff, or they're going to tell me, hey, listen, you know, there's arthritis in the family, and give me something, whatever, but they're not really doing anything. Except implanting ideas in my mind of what it could be. And that doesn't interest me. When I take the ceiling off, and there's an infinite realm of potentials that exists as to why, you know, this thing happened, then I don't focus on any one thing. It doesn't turn into cancer. It doesn't, you know, I've been doing this for years. So it's a practice. I've been doing it for years, a long time. So what we think is everything. It's absolutely everything. If I think something's wrong with it, there is. I think it's nothing. It's nothing. I've done that to myself, with myself, so many times. You know, my neighbor asked me, Betty, who I talk about sometimes, she asked me one day, she's like, do you have a GP? And I cautiously answer, yeah. And then I'm like, I think I divulged that I am my GP. And she has a look of worry on her face. And I don't think I said very much after that, but I trust myself. I trust my body. I trust my immunity. I trust my emotions. And I'm okay. I'm all right. Listen, if I croak tomorrow, then you can say, she, you know, that was with her all along, and only if she went to the doctor. Screw it. No. If tomorrow I croak, I was meant to. Period. It's all right. It's all good. Period. Anyways, that's done. So what I just said there is, or maybe this doesn't need to be a long conversation at all. It's just the idea that your body is your living temple, and perfect and pure, beautiful. We were born perfect and pure and beautiful. It's only that we lost that, right? Through all kinds of different stories that we've picked up along the way. I spoke about a young girl who I had the honor and pleasure of conversating with, like really proper conversating. She's beautiful, 12 years old. She's asking me questions that I don't get from someone, you know, let's put it this way. I love jumping right in. And I think you know that about me already. You know, screw the weather. I don't care. I mean, it's beautiful. It's God. You know, but it's not what I want to talk about. She's got this kid. She starts asking me questions that I haven't been asked in a very long time. It's usually when I go to a foreign country, people have these kinds of questions. It's a kid. And eventually, she's talking to me in French, and which I completely understand, or not, maybe not completely, but I understand, and I'm able to respond. I try to respond in French, but the languages are all, you know, I want to I want to respond in Slovak. But then Spanish starts coming back to me because it's easy. And so, I mean, she asks me if I can teach her Spanish. And, you know, I get to practice my French. And I'm like, thinking to myself, it's not that great. I know conversational Spanish. I think to myself later on in the day, well, why not just hone that skill? And then you can teach it to her. Or just speak, because it's just so easy. Spanish is really easy. Anyway, she's so brilliant. She's so brilliant. So coming back to the reason why I brought it up was I asked her if, when was the last time she said to herself, I love you? And at her beautiful age of, well, her 13th year around the sun, she says never. And all I think is, I want to work with this girl, but she's so clever. She's so switched on. But not just her. I want to work with all kids. I want to work with 2-year-olds. I want to work with everybody to teach about, I think the most important thing is the body and our communication or lack thereof with it. You know, there's the book by Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Body. And it's using your mind. And that was one of the first books about the body specifically that I tuned into and quickly learned how to navigate. To the point where, I mean, she gives specific, like if your right knee is hurting, it's because of this. She analyzed so many people to be able to give specifics as to why the right knee would be hurting. And I don't do that anymore. Now it's just a direct conversation with the pain in that specific locale. Now it's so, and this goes back to, see, nothing is separate for me. Everything is connected. So this is, you know, just tagging on to the last video. It's like talking directly to God, talking to it, rather than listening to someone talk about it from a book or anything. Does that, you know what I mean? We don't need a messenger. Direct communication. But how do we do something that seems so foreign? And I was saying to the guy this morning, Ashu. I was saying to Ashu this morning, like, I was just telling about Mum and how, like, you know, God bless her. You know, she loves going to the doctor. I mean, mind you, like, you know, they were friends since they moved to Canada. But he's retired now. Anyways, they're great friends. But she loves to go to the doctor. It's a thing. And it used to be like, before I left home, and perhaps for a little while afterwards, you know, it's part of my consciousness that, like, going to the doctor is a regular thing. Maybe it is a regular thing for everybody. I don't know. But anyways, what I mean to say is that, like, so many times, you know, Mum will say to me, like, oh, my this is hurting, or my that. And I'll be like, Ma, did you have a conversation with it? She thinks I'm nuts. Okay, all right, I'll talk to it. And it's the same with her plants and everything. Same with the you know, the things that eat her plants. She often complains that, and again, nothing is separate, so I can go into this, and it's not like digressing, it's truly connected. you know, that the squirrels or the chipmunks, you know, and you know, she speaks to them obviously or she speaks about them obviously in Punjabi. So, you know, she's calling them like bastards and this and that, you know, this, whatever, you know, all the names in Punjabi, which when translated into English is quite harsh. So I'm like, Ma, why don't you like talk to them differently? You know, we've got, I haven't told anyone this, and this is coming out right now. We've got loads of squirrels in the yard, and chipmunks, but we've got bunnies, rabbits, and raccoons and skunks. They might all be living under the deck. I'm not sure, but I know that raccoons. Well, I've seen all three coming out from under the deck. So it was a raccoon and a skunk, and they were at odd ends with each other. I think the skunk might have doesn't quite live underneath, but has a space, has a home quite close by. I've seen them all, and I haven't told anyone because I don't want. Because they're fine. They don't bother us. They don't eat the plants. They don't eat the food. You know, every now and again, a squirrel will mistake a tomato for the walnuts, which I just absolutely was like, just take them all, man, take them all. So we did have no walnuts or whatever the other tree is. Anyways, I talk with them all the time. It's hilarious. And a squirrel will like come onto the deck when I'm there, when I'm having my food. It just sort of like ease its way through. I'm like, it's all right, man. It's okay. I'm not going to chase you off, you know. But then like Dad and Mum were here the other day, for example, and there were squirrels in the yard and they chased them. And so anyways, I say to Mom, I'm like, if you talk to them nicely, you know, tell them that that's their food. And look, would you just, thank you for leaving ours. Thank you. We're here to share. Because actually, we've invaded their space. We want them to go away. Do you know what I mean? Anyways, yeah, so and it's the same with the plants. You know, that one died and whatever, you know, we'll talk to them, you know? Talk to them. Everything's God. Everything is. But if we can look at everything as precious, even those squirrels. A plant not growing, it's lacking attention, it's lacking something. Just go talk to that thing. Same with the body. Again, no separation. I'm not digressing. This is absolutely related. Yeah. You know, I talk to my body as though it was a 5-year-old child. When something's awry. And actually, it's the same with the emotions. I think I've said that enough times, but it's really like so the pain is not different. And what I was saying to Ashu this morning was that, you know, when I experience, the cigarillo is so good. When I experience pain, that pain is no different than this hand, these eyes, mouth, his teeth. It's all me. It's all God. It's all one. So it's not like, this fucking pain, right? It used to be. You're just talking to yourself. Does that make sense? Like, what you're saying to yourself is basically, you. Pardon the vulgarities. It just seems right at this moment and fun. So this is my hand. The pain is also mine. The emotions also mine. Also me. Also God. No separation. So try it. The next time you're feeling unwell. And you don't have to name, you don't have to label your feelings. It's not to be like, well, I do say, God, I'm angry, you know. Oh, maybe label them. But what I say and what I said to was sadness. And you know what it was actually last night? So lonely. I had to admit that to myself, because in the last video I was like, you know, when I feel when I feel that way, then you know, I remember the Footsteps poem. That's really nice. That's really lovely, Mange. But you know what? Yesterday I just felt so lonely. I really did. I was so sad. And actually, I've never talked to loneliness before, because I sort of sugarcoated with a sugarcoated. And I didn't realize that. Really didn't. I gotta be stronger than that. I'm not alone. God's always with me. You know what I mean? I have to be honest, actually. That's the most important thing. That is the most important thing with emotions. Just being honest instead of pushing them away. Because actually, what are you pushing away? It's that 5-year-old child. You know, when we're... so actually what I've done when loneliness has come up is if loneliness was, you know, kiddo Mange, then been pushing that kid away for a while. I mean, not to say that, you know, the loneliness is a constant, but every time that it was arising, I was like, nah, I'm not alone. God's always with me. Really beautiful thought. But baby, I hadn't been honest about that. So that I got honest about last night. It's like, okay, that's different. That's new. I've been pushing you away, honey. I forgive myself. I forgive myself. And, yeah. So there's a different take on emotions and body. Essentially, all is you. Your body holds everything. Your emotions hold everything. If we didn't have our emotions, or this body, we're pure spirit. Pardon me. Pure, positive energy, if you like to think it as that way. I do. I do. I love to think of it that way. That's a different conversation, you know, bad spirits and stuff like that. I don't believe in that. We croak, pure positive energy, even Hitler. All of them all. Can you say that? I just did. All of them. Oh, do you want to go there actually? If all is God, well, let's finish this video with a question. If all is God, tree outside, the animals, plants, coffee, my body, my emotions. If all is and everyone is, no one excluded. Nobody excluded. Not even the person you think of worst in the world. When they die, and again, this is my projection of things. When that person dies, pure, positive energy, right back to source. That's a big one. Think of all the world governments right now. Oh, yes. I've had conversations with Justin Trudeau. All of them. God bless them. Really. Actually, we'll make another video. I am that I am. No separation, essentially. maybe we'll do that now. Anyways, I finished this one, and not without saying, I love you. I love you so much. You have no idea. You have no idea. I love you all. God bless you. And until next time, bye.